It's Catherine at Resin Obsession, and today I'm going to walk you through just a little bit of what I've been working with recently in the studio and hopefully inspire you on how you can make your own unique resin charms. So what I wanted to do was to cast some resin charms that I could then turn into Christmas ornaments to decorate our tree. So before I show you what I did, let me give you a little background information on how I got to this point. So I used the Resin Obsession Super Clear Resin. I used it with our mold 392, which you can see has some hearts and stars. And then for the inserts on those molds, these were clip art that I copied onto a white piece of paper. Okay, so I printed them actually on my printer here in my studio, and then took them to the local copy store and had them copy it onto a clear transparency. And what was really nice about this is because then you can just cut them out and use them in your resin without sealing them. So let's take a look at what I got done. So this was also a little bit of an experiment of sorts because I always like messing around with new colors and textures and ideas just to see what we come up with. So let me walk you through what we did. So this was a charm that I did where I cut out the transparency, used it in my first layer, and then for the back layer, I used a little bit of Pearl X powder. Okay, this was the red russet powder. And as you can see, we got a really nice red color, red background to the charm. And it's got a little bit of a pearlescent to it. You can see it there in the cup. Okay. The other thing I did as well was to use the transparency in the first layer and use a little bit of the Illumidust purple powder pigment. Same kind of thing. It gives it a very pearlescent look. I like these both very well. I will tell you, if you're going to use this technique, a little bit of powder goes a long way. So the other thing I did was took and did a transparency for the first layer and then used these little, I'm going to call them glittery pieces, but I'm not sure what you call them. I guess they're used for when you do manicures to decorate nails, you know, and do nail art stuff. They're much thicker than glitter, much bigger pieces. I love the effect. However, as you've probably figured out, you can't really see the transparency. So the texture just kind of takes away from it, but it is a pretty neat effect. This is a charm that I did with the transparency in the first layer, and then for the transparent layer, I used a little bit of alcohol ink. This turned out really well, and to hang this, I'll probably put like I'll probably do a side drill and then hang a ribbon in between. This charm was one that I did with the transparency for the first layer, and then what I did for the second layer is I cut up little pieces of foil tissue. And what that looks like is it's a consistency of tissue paper, but it's really thick, or I'm sorry, not really thick, but it's like aluminum foil. You don't have to worry about sealing it. I went ahead and used it. Really gives a really sparkly kind of texture behind it. I don't know that you can really see the transparency really well, but I like it. I think it's a neat effect. And then the last charm that I did that I'm really excited, it's probably my favorite, is this is one where I actually used a different mold. I used our mold 760, a large round mold. This total size on this is about 2 3/4 inches. And I used the clear resin and the transparency in the first layer. And then as for behind it, what I did is I mixed another layer of resin with some of the Cast and Craft white opaque. And I think, if anything, I've learned from this that a lighter color behind the transparency really sets it off. So hopefully I've inspired you to make some of your own charms for your Christmas tree. And we have another video on this channel as well that kind of walks you through how to hang them, whether you're talking about a bail or eye pins or drilling or that kind of thing. So if you have any questions, leave them in the box below. If you get a minute, stop by the resinobsession.com blog and jewelry making forum. We're always happy to help answer your resin casting questions. Happy crafting!